Hello everyone, let us continue the lesson force and friction. So let us see some examples. A fielder is stopping a ball. You know cricket very well, right? So in a cricket, what happens? Batsman hits the ball. So here what happened while hitting the ball, batsman what he is doing? He applying some force using the bat on the ball, right? So again a fielder want to stop the ball, so you want to catch, right? To catch he has to apply some force, right? In the both cases, while batting and while catching or stopping the ball, he is applying force, right? So next, to move a book, suppose to move a book from one place to other place, he has to apply some force, right? So while opening and closing the door, so what is push and pull? Already we learned in the last class. Pushing means to force applied to move a object from away from oneself, right? So so what is pull here? Opening a door. Opening door means you are moving door away from yourself, right? What is this? This is a push. So while closing the door, what happens? We are dragging the door near to ourselves. So what is this? This is pull. Next, drawing a bucket of water from a well. So you know very well how we pick up the water, or how we use the water from the well. By using a bucket, we have to tie a rope to the bucket, and you have to pick the water from the well. So while dropping a bucket, what you are performing? Push. Means you are moving the bucket away from yourself. Means you are uh, throwing or dropping a bucket in the well. After that, what happens? You have to move upwards the rope, so that the water will come upwards. What you are performing? A pull. Okay. So next, kicking a football. So here also you are moving a ball away from you by applying a force, external force. Moving a loaded cart. What you do here? Suppose a loaded cart, let us consider. You are moving in this direction. You are standing here. So what you are performing here? Pull or push? Here you are moving this cart near to you, right? Near to you. So here what happening here? Pull. So opening a drawer and closing. So while opening you are moving to near to yourself, and while closing away from yourself. So opening means what? Pull. Closing, push. So what is force? Force is nothing but a pull or push which causes change in the state of motion of an object, or a change in its shape. This is what we discussed in the last class, right? Force is nothing but a push or pull that can change the state of motion of an object, or change its shape. Okay. So state of motion is nothing but make a stationary object to move, stopping a moving object or moving body, slow down the fast moving body, or vice versa, and change the direction of the object. So these already we discussed in the last class, and examples also. So suppose take a water bottle. Okay. So try to apply the force from the both sides. What happens? The shape of the bottle changes. Here what you are doing, by applying the force you are changing the shape of the object. And for changing the state of motion, you can see in these examples, suppose kicking a ball. So here suppose a ball is moving with some initial velocity, you are applying a force again in the same direction, means it increases its speed. So change in the speed also happens by using the force. And also we discussed in the last class force as units for force is newtons, right? SI units for force is newtons. And also to define a force is a physical quantity which need both a direction and magnitude. Both are very very important to define the force. So uh, force is a physical quantity that has both magnitude and direction. It's nothing but a scalar quantity. And whenever if you want to move a box or object, you have to apply the force. So there is a situation where more than one force can apply on the box or on the object at a time. So to move an object, there should be always exist unequal forces or unbalanced forces. Then only the object will move from one place to other place. What is balanced and unbalanced forces also we discussed in the last class. So balanced means, suppose if I am applying forces in the both direction F1 and F2, if the both forces are same, then there is no change in the motion of this object. It stays at rest. So this is a balanced situation. In the first case F1 and F2 both forces acting in the same direction. So the object will displaces in this direction or it will move in this direction. So here this is an example for balanced force, and this is balanced force. Always the object move from one place to other place when there exist only unbalanced forces. So here how to calculate a net force also we discussed in the last class. Now types of forces also we discussed in the last class. So how many types of forces are there? Two types. Two types. What are they? Contact force and contact force. So in the above example just we discussed, right? A fielder stopping a ball. So what he is doing with the help of his hands, he is stopping the ball, right? So here direct physical contact is there or not? Yes. So next, opening and closing the door, moving a book, and drawing a bucket of water from the well, kicking a football, moving a loaded cart, opening a drawer or closing. In all these situations, you are applying force directly on the object. Means here there exists a direct physical contact between two interacting bodies. Then this is known as a contact force. So in contact force, we discussed already about muscular force and also frictional force. So what is muscular force? The force which we exert by using our body muscles is known as muscular force. So what is frictional force? In contact forces, how many types we discussed? Muscular force and frictional force. Frictional force. So muscular force means we exert force by using our body muscles. Our body muscles. Suppose in daily life activities, bathing, brushing, walking, each and every case we are using muscular force to do the work, right? So what is muscular force? We exert force using our body muscles, then it is known as a muscular force. Frictional force. So matter is exist in three states, right? Solid, liquid and gas. So in all these three states there exists a frictional force. So we already discussed a friction between solids, right? If the two objects are placed one on the above, if there is no friction, those two objects will not stand on each other. So if we place a book on the table, the book is said to be in the motion or it rest. It's said to be in the rest. So what happens here? The book is not moving. Okay, means we already discussed for friction is nothing but what resistance to the movement of the body over the surface of the other body. So friction is nothing but a resistive force. Resistive force. It will not allow the object to move or to move movement of the one body over the other body. Why we already discussed in the last class. On each and every surface there exists ups and downs. If you observe closely each and every object, you can see the ups and downs. So if the one body ups and downs, suppose I'm keeping a book on the table, so there exist ups and downs on the table as well as on the book. If the both ups and downs are interlocked like this, then the objects will not move. Okay, then the object will not move. So if here I took a book and a table example. Suppose in the liquids what happens? Suppose you are going in a boat. Okay, you are rowing a boat. Current is moving in this direction. You also moving in this same direction. Then what happens here? You can move very fast, right? Here both are moving in the same direction. So resistive force in this case is very less. Suppose you are going in the same boat, but in this case current is moving in this direction only. Stream or current is moving in this direction and boat is going in this direction. Here what happens? You are going against the current, right? So to go against the stream direction, we have to apply more force. The speed of the boat should be more than the current speed. Then only you can come across these current force. Okay, means here what happens? This water is existing, means this water is applying some force, a resistive force, which will not allow this boat to move unless and until if the boat speed is greater than the current speed. Okay, here along the stream it will travel. If there is there is less force also, it will move. Okay, less speed also, it will move in this direction. So here nothing, what happens here? Nothing but here liquid is exerting friction. Okay, so again in gases, so you can see birds and even planes both are in the same shape. So why these both have the same shape? To overcome the resistance of this gas, that shapes are should be in a particular shape to overcome the resistance of the friction of the gases. Okay, resistive force is nothing but frictional force, right? To overcome the resistance caused by this gas, the sheep, aeroplanes and birds are in the same shape. Okay, so in non-contact force, we discussed even about a non-contact force. So what are the non-contact forces? Non-contact force or a force at a distance or a field force. These three are same, refers to the non-contact force. So you know very well about magnets, right? So what is non-contact force? First of all, let us define. The force which results when there is no direct physical contact between object is known as a force at a distance or a field force, or force at a distance or field force or non-contact force. So here there is no physical contact. Here physical contact exists in contact force. Okay, so in non-contact force, what are the types? Magnetic force, magnetic force. So what happens, a magnet can attract or repel another magnet without contact, right? If you let us consider two bar magnets. I'm considering bar magnets, north and south. You can see the poles, right? So if I bring same poles, let us consider I took a two bar magnets. I bought these south side and south side of these two magnets. I bought in contact. What happens? If I keep these two bar magnets at a small at least near to each other, then what happens, these magnets exert force and they repel each other. You know very well, right? Like poles attract and like poles repel and unlike poles attract. If I bring south and south, they repel uh, without coming to contact. Okay, before coming to contact only they repel each other. They move in the different directions. If I bring north and south poles, then what happens, if they are in the little distance only, they attract each other. So what happens here, without physical contact only they are attracting or repelling another object. If I bring a magnet in contact with the iron object, what happens, they both attract. So a magnet can attract another magnet or a magnetic material. What are magnetic materials? The materials which are attracted by the magnet are called or said to be magnetic material. So iron, nickel, cobalt elements are said to be magnetic materials. Okay, so I said, if I bought these two in a contact without touching, if without touching only they repel each other, right? If I move very close, then they move in this direction, this and this bar magnet move in this direction. Suppose if I brought north and south near to each other, what happens, if they are at a some distance only they attract, right? So how much distance they can influence these magnetic force. Okay, the space around the magnet where it is in its influence can be detected. Influence means in this area these magnetic force is very high or strong magnetic forces exist. If I move little more distance, okay, if I just keep north south here and I increase the distance between these two magnets, what happens, distance is more here. So suppose there exists a magnetic field region is up to here and magnetic field up to here. So is these two magnets will attract or repel each other? No. So what happen here, for non-contact force there exists a region, okay, where the forces are weak and where the forces are strong. So in the area very close to these two magnets, okay, there exists a field, right? Field or a space around the magnet where influence is very strong, that is called a magnetic field. So for electrostatic force also there exists a region where the electrostatic force is strong. If I if I increase the distance between these two objects, then the force is weak. Okay, so without a contact here there exists a magnetic field, right? So the magnetic forces are said to be non-contact force. And also non-contact force, one more is there. What is that? Electrostatic force. In electrostatic force, what happens, force exerted by a charged body on the other charged body is known as a electrostatic force, right? So let us take a electrostatic force. So take a plastic comb or a plastic pen, rub to your silky hair, okay, and bring contact to the piece of papers. Okay, what happens, that plastic comb will attract these piece of papers in, if they are at some distance only. Don't bring very close to each other or don't bring into contact, just keep little distance near to the piece of papers. Then what happens, that comb or pen will attract the piece of papers. What happens while rubbing with your hair? These plastic comb is acquiring some charge. So these charges present for some time. So after rubbing after rubbing the comb to your hair, these comb is said to be a charged body. Okay, so these charged body or these charged comb is brought into contact with the piece of papers. What happens? It is attracting these piece of papers. So here this is charged body, right? We are charging this comb with the air. Okay, so this is attracting some piece of papers. And again take a balloon and rub with the piece of paper on the piece of paper. Again brought contact with the piece of papers. What happens in this case also? These piece of papers will attracted towards the balloon. In the two cases you should not bring very close, then also these piece of papers will attract towards the balloon or comb. So what happens here? There exists a force without physical contact or without a direct contact. These electrostatic force also is said to be force at a distance or a non-contact force. Okay, again one more is gravitational force. So you know very well, if you throw a stone upwards, what happens? That stone will go upwards only? No, it will come back and falls on the ground. Okay, so what happens here? Earth has a earth is exerting gravitational pull on the stone, right? That's why this stone always falls on the ground. Okay, so all these three non-contact forces have a specific region where the forces are strong and weak. Let us consider this is the earth. So you know, around the earth layers are there: stratosphere, troposphere, like that. Layers are there, right? After these particular layers, what happens? There is no more gravitational force on the object. Suppose while launching a rocket, what happens? It will exert more force to overcome this gravitational pull, and after crossing this specific region, what happens? There is weak gravitational force. So within this region, what happens? Gravitational force is very strong. Okay, in case of magnet also, in the region of magnetic field, we are experiencing the force. Means in the region, magnetic field region, force is greater. After that, the force is very less. For these comb and papers also, after if you move for and for these papers and this comb, what happens? There is no more attraction. So means in these three non-contact forces, there exists a region where the force is strong and where the force is weak. Okay, so if you throw any object or if you launch any rocket or anything, so in this region only, okay, so there is a particular layers, right? So you should tell me in which region, the up to which region gravitational force is more, after which region gravitational force is less. So if the region is crashed, then the gravitational force is very weak. Within the region it is very strong. Okay, so till now what we discussed: what is contact, what is non-contact force, and what is force, how the balanced and unbalanced force, we all discussed this, right? So unbalanced forces are there, then only there is a movement in the object. If the forces are balanced, there is no movement, right? We already discussed in the details. So next, the third force is normal force. So what is normal force? Let us take a book and place on the table. Let us take your science book and place on the table. Okay, So what happens here? Book, let us consider a book. Okay, so you kept on the table. Is this book falls down? Is it in the motion or is it at rest? This book is at rest, right? Is there any forces acting on this book? Can you guess? Yes, there are. Suppose these benches disappeared. Okay, so by magic this bench is disappeared. What happens? This way book will fall on the ground. Why this book fall on the ground? Due to the gravitational pull, right? Gravitational pull of the earth. So if it is on the table, what happens here? Also always the gravitational pull is attracting this book towards the ground, or always the gravitational pull acting on this book. Still that book is in the position of rest. Why? Here this book is supported by table. Okay, so supported by the table, I said no. So here one more force acting on the book which is opposite to this gravitational force. Gravitational forces always act on the downward direction, right? So to keep this book at rest, one more force acting on this book, that is normal force. Okay, so which is always perpendicular to the surface, right? Which is always perpendicular to the surface, and also which in this case Fg is equal to Fn. That's why this book is at rest. So always on the object which is kept at rest or which is moving, always there exists a gravitational force and normal force. Always normal force is perpendicular to the surface. Okay, and this gravitational force is always acts in the downward direction. So here the book is supported by the normal force, right? Next, one more force is also there, that is tension. What is tension? So let us take a stone and tie with the rope and hang to a ceiling. Is this stone will fall down? No, it is supported by this rope, right? It will not fall down. So here which force is supporting this stone? Here tension. Always while stretching a rubber band also, while in this case this rope is also exerting some force on the stone, that is called tension. So here always there exists a gravitational force. Here what is the direction of tension? Upwards. Okay, so how many types of forces we learned in this lesson till now? Contact and non-contact force, normal force and tension. Okay, what is normal force? Which are always in the direction opposite to the gravitational force. Okay, opposite to the gravitational force and perpendicular to the surface. Okay, so that's all for this class. In the next class we'll learn how to draw a free body diagram. What is free body diagram? How to draw free body diagram for the different in different cases we'll learn. Okay, so thank you.